YouTubers? So today is Wednesday, July 6th, and today I wanted to talk to you about a huge topic in nutrition and fitness industries right now. Totally trending, and I wanted to tell you the diet behind If It Fits Your Macros and flexible dieting, and I want to compare that to intuitive eating. Now, I want to give you the definition of what both of them are and the pros and cons of each and what my opinion is on either one of them and if I follow any of them. So let's get started. Macros are short for macronutrient. Macronutrients, there are three main ones in the body. We have protein, carb, and fat. These are essential for many processes in the body. The premise behind this diet is that there are a certain amount of macronutrient that we need in order to obtain a certain physique. So there's different macronutrients for weight gain, if you're trying to lean bulk or something like that, just have weight maintenance, and if you're trying to lose weight. And of course, you have to take into consideration physical activity levels, lifestyle, body type, and things like that, which is why getting a nutritional professional like myself, a dietitian, or somebody who is trained and certified in nutrition to help determine those numbers for you would be the best way, in my opinion, to make sure that you're getting the most accurate macros for your goals. With these macros, you can get grams or percentages. Now, generally people follow by grams because it is very detailed and to the point, whereas you can't really track a percentage of what you eat during the day, but you can weigh things throughout the day to get the gram and subtract it by your total amount for the day. So grams are the easiest way to track. Like I said, this is really catered to help you determine what macros are best for you for your goals. So if you're really trying to obtain a certain physique, tracking your macros down to the T is really what's going to help you obtain that perfect physique. So in bodybuilding, they obviously, depending on what level you're competing at, you need to look a certain way. And you're trying to achieve fat loss. As long as you have lower calories, but you're meeting adequate protein, carbs, and fat, by science, you will lose weight, and specifically fat. So that is why a lot of the bodybuilders use this method, because it helps them to maintain as much muscle as possible, but still trying to shred that fat, giving them that stage look that they're looking for. Another reason why flexible dieting is so popular, and not just for the bodybuilding world, but now for the general population, is because it's just the amount of grams you just track throughout the day. This allows you cheat foods that you wouldn't normally have if you were following, I guess, clean eating, or if you were trying to lose weight and didn't want to have your cheat foods because you thought they might mess up your diet and your goals. It doesn't really put an emphasis on healthy eating, which is the con to this diet, because it kind of promotes that as long as you are eating foods that fit those grams that you need per day, by science you'll lose weight or you'll gain weight or whatever your goal is. But by science you will reach that physique that you're trying because you're just fitting in those grams. My personal opinion on that is that I do promote plant-based healthy eating, so I would hope that most of the calories and macros are coming from healthy food sources like fruits and vegetables and lean proteins and things like that. But technically with this diet you can incorporate pizza, burgers, things like that, as long as they're in the macros, which is why people really like it, because they don't want to sacrifice these foods that they love, and they definitely don't want to sacrifice the body they're trying to attain. So this kind of is the happy medium. So that's a little bit about macros. Now, if you're interested in determining your macros, like I said, a nutrition coach would be the best. You can always reach out to me. Once you do figure out what macros are right for you depending on your goal, then the next step is to track them. And now in today's world, obviously you're probably not going to write pen and paper and track everything you eat and everything you weigh. So my best advice would be to download the MyFitnessPal app. This is a lifesaver. I do use this app and I do use this style of eating, but I'll get to you a little later about when I use this. So download the MyFitnessPal app. So it is sponsored by Under Armour. I'll show you what the app looks like. It is right here, this blue app right here, little running man with the Under Armour. We click that, pops up. You can set it to the amount of calories you want, as well as the amount of grams or percentage of macronutrient that you discover is best for yourself. So I will just show you what I had for breakfast so far, so you can get an idea. So pretty much you weigh out all of your food, and really it does keep you accountable. One of the good things about macros is that it keeps you accountable and lets you be aware of the portion size and what you're actually eating and how much it's contributing. For instance, a lot of sauces, they do add calories, fat, sodium. So if you're trying to watch that and you incorporate that into your macros, you might say like, wow, it might not be worth it to add mayonnaise on my sandwich because I can use that fat towards something else that might be a little better if I could just cut that out. So there's definitely pros to the macro diet. But as you can see here, if you can read it, I had oatmeal, a tablespoon of peanut butter, and a half cup of blueberries for breakfast so far. And what you can do is, that is for breakfast. So on the bottom there's a more button. You can hit the nutrition, and in there you can look at the nutrients themselves, the carbs, protein, fat. You can do the macros, and it'll tell you in that meal how many grams of each. So 41 grams of carbs, 10 grams of fat, 9 grams of protein. And it'll tell you kind of the percentage of that meal, how much the macros was. So obviously, since I had 41 grams of carbs, it's 56% out of 100. So I had a lot of carbs for breakfast, in other words. So it just kind of helps you be accountable and helps you reach your goals. So if you have any more questions about MyFitnessPal, feel free to comment below too, or shoot me an email. I will gladly answer those questions too. And because of the way macros works and you can fit all those cheat foods in, that is why it is also called the flexible dieting. So that is my take on macros. The next topic I wanted to talk about is intuitive eating. Sorry if you hear that, that's a plane going over my head, but anyway, so intuitive eating is really a simple concept, and it's really just following your body's hunger cues. Now there's different ways that you can learn to do that. You're actually rejecting the diet mentality when you decide to intuitive eat. You're not thinking about macros, you're not thinking about, I'm dieting, I can't have this, can't have that. You're not restricting yourself. You're just simply listening to what your body is telling you that it needs, whether it's thirst, whether it's hunger cue. And this is really important because you just kind of live life without having that diet mentality and having that constant struggle and relationship with food. You can really make peace with food, because with this style of eating, you listen to your cues, and there's certain ways you can do that. So mindful eating, by really sitting there, eating slowly, seeing all the senses that you're experiencing when you're eating the food, what it tastes like, what it smells like, appreciating the food for what it is, and really taking your time eating, taking breaths in between bites, assessing what your current fullness level is after a couple bites, after a few minutes of eating, and really telling yourself, am I hungry, or am I just eating because it's still here? And maybe you were like me and you grew up always having to finish what's on your plate, and maybe that's something that you still feel that you have to do, but the difference would be, instead of shoving everything in your face right now, feeling full, bloated, want to take a nap after, you can still stop, go back to it later, go back to it in a half hour, finish it then. Let your body tell you when it's finished. Let your body give you those cues. This way you'll see food as not an enemy, not even a friend. You see food as fuel. Food is literally just fuel for the body. You can give your body not enough fuel, and you can give your body too much fuel. And just like a car, you know, either one is bad. It's both an extreme. So this is really finding the balance of what your body really needs, and you have to be in tune with your body, really take the time to see what your body is really asking and what it wants. This takes away from the dieting aspect, like I said, because you're not restricted by any means. So if you are craving a piece of chocolate, you want to assess. You always want to assess and see if your body really needs it. So if you're craving a piece of chocolate, you can do one of two things. You can either Tell yourself, ask yourself, do I really want this piece of chocolate, or am I just bored right now? Can I fill my time right now with something else that may be more conducive to my goals and my health? Like maybe I can do a minute of squats, and if after a minute of squats I am still craving that chocolate, I'll have a piece of chocolate. If after a minute I'm not really craving it, then don't have it. And that's really the premise behind intuitive eating. That is the style that I really love. The majority of the year I am intuitive eating. I try to fill my body with healthy foods, clean foods as much as possible, like fruits and vegetables, lean, vegan protein sources, whole grains. However, if I am feeling like I want an Oreo, I want something sweet, I will have one. Because it's not about restricting yourself. You need to have a healthy relationship with your body and a healthy mentality about food, which is the ultimate goal. If you have a healthy mentality with food, the process of yo-yo dieting will come to a halt. And that is what we all want. Am I right, guys? Am I right? I know I'm right. So, my opinion is you really want to try the style of intuitive eating. However, I will say I do track my macros and do use flexible dieting when I am going to be doing a competition, when I have to reach a certain physique. For instance, when I did my figure competition, I obviously needed to reach a certain physique, so I did track my macros down to the gram and tried to keep them very accurate for as long as I could, because I knew that I needed to obtain a certain physique, and at that point I just needed to use science. It wasn't, I had to just get rid of like me craving other foods. It was like I needed to do this because that was the goal I set for myself. It wasn't easy. It's a very hard thing if you want to do a competition such as bodybuilding, but if you have the desire and the motivation to do your best, there's just things and sacrifices you have to do in order to get there. But aside from that rant, for instance, also when I do jiu-jitsu, when I'm trying to reach a certain weight, get a certain physique, improve my performance, there are macros that I use for that as well, just to make sure that I'm staying on track and I'm prepared for the tournament, because there are weigh-ins and I need to reach a certain weight. So I do use macros when I do that as well. And another instance where I might use macros is if it's the summertime and I just want to do a mini shred, maybe like a 2 weeks. I just want to, usually I'm bulking because I love food and I rather bulk than shred, even though shredding is more aesthetic. Bulking makes me happy. So if I want to do a little shred, like 2 to 3 weeks, then I'll figure out my macros based on my current weight, the weight I want to get at, and then just follow those to the T for a couple weeks. And if I have a vacation or something I want to look good for, I'll do it something like that. But other than that, intuitive eating is the way to go. If you have any more questions about intuitive eating, that's my take on intuitive eating and flexible dieting, macros. If you have any questions, please comment below, shoot me an email, follow me on my Instagrams if you're not already, Natty Boss Fit and Natty Boss Nutrition, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already, share it with a friend. More people that know about healthy eating and how to live a healthier lifestyle, the better place the world's going to be. And real wealth is whole health, and really that's all it comes down to. So give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. I hope you enjoyed the scenery. This is actually my parents' backyard. I love it. It's like a little jungle. It's really hard to find like greenery in the city, so this is totally like a sanctuary. But yeah, so give this video a thumbs up if you like it and subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.